Love. Respect. Passion. Intimacy. Pleasure.
I sit here stuck inside my head, remembering you and I analyze all those things you said. You told me you loved me, kissed and you hugged me, then you smiled, look in my eyes and tell me that you'll always be right there.
Good evening. Good evening, y'all. Happy Friday. And we welcome y'all to another episode of PGC After Dark with the Crazy Rich Aunties. Listen, tonight, I'll be on the hottie here. No, I'm just playing. So, tonight, we are having a conversation about being sexually open but emotionally frozen. And I think this is going to be a hell of a conversation, but one that is also going to piss quite a few people off because we're going to step on some toes this evening. So I hope y'all is prepared. I hope y'all is ready. I'm your girl, Leo Rochelle. What up? And we got Auntie Gina Marie in this thing. What up, boo?
What up, y'all? How
you feeling?
Girl, I'm good. I am good. So glad the weekend. Yes.
I'm excited for the weekend too. I'm ready to get outside.
Honey.
I'm ready to get outside. We're going to have a good time, I believe, this weekend. I feel like it's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
I think so. So our conversation for tonight. Again, is sexually open but emotionally frozen. I wonder what y'all think that mean. I wonder what y'all think it mean. But this conversation was brought about because there are a lot of people who are open and willing to give themselves sexually in every way possible, but emotionally, we don't want to do nothing. We don't want to connect. We don't want to deep dive. We don't want to give nobody no parts of us. Okay? So one of the things that I realized that a lot of people assume, that's the word I'm looking for, is that just because you are sexually open, that you are emotionally available. Now, two things can be true, but at the same time, but in this case, it's not. You can definitely be sexually open and emotionally available, but not emotionally available to that person that you're sexually open with.
It's true.
And then you can be sexually open and emotionally available to someone else. So depending on, how your little situation is and what's going on over there in your world, it may end up being two different things or two different types of situations. So you can be sexually open with, chick A or guy A, but over here with chick B or guy B, you open sexually and emotionally, and you get all of the things from that person or whatever. So, that kind of two sides of the same coin, is a really big misconception when it comes to intimacy and things like that. So we have to help y'all with what that really looks like. Okay. So a person can be, like we said, sexually adventurous, physically affectionate, flirtatious, expressive, and confident in the bed. But they may also struggle very deeply with emotional intimacy, trust, vulnerability, emotional regulation, and attachment issues. So this same person that you over here getting down and dirty with, having a good time, they could still be the same person who will not open up, who will not be emotionally aware, intimate, open, none of that.
That's true.
They won't even be intimate in other ways that you may feel like you need to be intimate in order to fully connect. So, y'all want to know why this is a thing? It's a thing because physical openness and emotional openness are processed differently in the brain and in the nervous system. So, although you can be physically open and feel safe and confident and all of those things in your body, it don't necessarily mean that you feel the same way in your emotions and in your mind and in your nervous system. So, for some people, sex feels safer than emotional exposure. We've heard that all the time. We've heard that so many times that it's easier to be to have sex with somebody raw and be hunching on somebody than it is to express my emotions and tell somebody what's really going on and what I really feel.
That's true. That's true.
And I'm like,
How you do that?
how?
How
How
you
you
do
do that there?
Hey, get out my head. I was gonna go there with you.
How you do that there? And that's how they get into a space of being okay with just, just the sexual part. They don't have to do nothing else. They don't have to figure nothing else out. It is what it is. We are what we are, and that's all I'm asking for.
It's freeing. The sexual part is more freeing than anything else. So it makes it easier. If you look at it like this, they'll go into it and be like, well, hell, all of this is going on. I know if I call Bob over here, Bob is gonna put me through the mattress, and there's no connection. We both know what it is.
Yep.
We're gonna do what it do, and we go about our business until next time. So it's sexually free. So you can be the most freakiest, the most nastiest, the most raunchiest person you want to be with this one person because you both know you don't want no attachments. You both understand the assignment.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
That's wild to me. I mean, I've been there, but the older I get, the more I'm like, And even when I do want those moments where it's just like, oh, okay, well, just come put me through the mattress real quick and you go on about your business. It
Yeah.
still be like, I still find it difficult sometimes because I'm like, even the people that I was connected to that I wanted them to put me through the mattress, like, we still friends. So it wasn't that it was a full disconnect. Cause I don't know. It's hard for me to find the person that I could just have them put me through the mattress and then we gone on our separate ways. Like, I think that's just cause I feel at this point in my life, if we gonna do that, I still want to know you. I still need to know that there's some connection there outside, not necessarily outside of the sex, because it can be just sex. And we still kiki and all of that. Cause I gotta develop some level of trust for you or with you. I have to develop some level of trust. And I can't develop that without having conversations or any of those kind of things. Like, I don't know. I think that's the weird part for me is just sexing and then there's nothing. I'm not saying that we just can't fuck on each other and then going on about our way. and then we just call each other when we want to screw. But doesn't it take some kind of work to get there?
It does. It
Because I'm
does.
trying to think, like, I'm really in my head, like, okay, when I was just screwing on a man, what was we doing? What was we doing? Because I'm pretty sure we were still having conversations or saying something to each other at some point. And so I'm like, I'm literally sitting up here trying to think, like, okay, what was we doing?
Well, yeah. But then you have to I get where you coming from. But then, like you said, I think the older you get, the more you start realizing that, the way you used to think as uh, a younger adult, carefree, get it how you live and all of that.
Yeah.
It's like now you want more meaningful connections. And I don't know. Sometimes I just chalk it up as, because, as they say, women are emotional creatures, and we tend to lead sometimes with our heart before anything. I'm not gonna say a lot of us tend to fall in love fast, but it's just like we connect faster sometimes in situations, even when you already know, hey, this is where the line was drawn. Sometimes we see, sort of look past that picture and be like, well, what if
Mm-hmm.
my feelings been changed, if
Yeah.
mine's changed, what if his has changed too? What if he's scared to even reciprocate that his feelings has changed? Should I take it a little step further, or am I being a little cray cray to think it's farther than
Yeah.
what we both had determined in the beginning? And it happens. You see it every day, where you see these women trying to hurt these men or doing things to get back, or even the men in the reversal doing the same thing, trying to get back at the person. So it's like, where do we come to like a true mutual agreement? But I don't. Once you create a soul tie, hell, it's hard to kind of,
Now
because
talking
having
about it, it's
sex,
hard to kind of disconnect.
yes, because once you have, no matter how you look at it, when you decide to give your essence to somebody else, you just created a soul tie. Now that soul tie could be tied to everybody that person that slept with. And you be wondering, well, every time I have sex with this person, it'll be good. But then again, it's like, it's always problems that come along with this person. You never thinking that person he didn't have before you didn't have problems, or the person before that person maybe did a little voodoo, they into that too, then did a little whatever on this
Yeah.
person. And so you have to be careful with who you have to make wise decisions, because people don't look at these things, they don't look at sex as soul ties. It's just sex. But baby, it's a soul tie. You care
And
everybody that is slept with,
and
they carrying it.
sometimes you have them people that, like, sometimes you have those people that you could just screw and screw and screw and screw, and it don't be nothing there. Like, you just have good sex with that person. But then it be them other people that you be like,
Because they be trying to make you feel like you wifey while they in
nah,
it.
nah. I mean, like, okay, so the same kind of thing. So the same thing. So it could be one person that you screw on or have screwed on, and that's all y'all do. Y'all have good sex and going on about y'all business. Y'all chit chat, y'all hit each other up from time to time, blah blah blah, da da da. But on the flip side, you could be dealing with somebody else, and it's still the same dynamic, as far as like y'all just want to fuck on each other and going on about y'all business. But it is something about that person, that particular person, where you like,
Yeah.
So you coming back next week? Like it's more of a, it's more intense, it's more like juicy, and it's a little bit better than just good sex. It's that connection, it's a whole bunch of other stuff that's intertwined. And so even though when y'all just hunching on each other, y'all still be like, it's good. I
Yeah.
miss you. Where you at? Where you at,
Right.
baby? And I know I
Right.
can't see you all the time, but ooh, when I do, you know, you be ready to do some strange things to that person, you know.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it be different. I don't know. I
That
don't know what
long.
that is. And it's, I mean, I get it that it's like different levels of connection. But man, them ones that you have them connections with, and it be like, y'all ain't seen each other in years. But then when y'all get together or get around each other, y'all like, hey,
That chemistry be off the chain.
going down tonight.
What?
Like you want to just hunch and hunch and hunch and hunch. And that's what it be like. That's
Yes.
what I
Yes.
like.
Yes.
I like
That.
those connections. I don't like the other ones.
Yeah. I like connections like that too because I like some. I like when you be driving down the street and all of a sudden they hit you and you be like, oh, you can feel it all in your body. You be
Yes.
like,
Yes, you can feel it.
you be like, where my phone at? Maybe I need to just send a little text. What's the thing?
Yes.
But those are kind of
Absolutely that.
that the ones that leave that little shiver,
That little
like,
shiver in your bones.
or you be walking and it put a little. You think about them and you get that little pep in your step and you
Yes,
like,
ma'am.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. None of your business. Mind your business.
Yes, ma'am. Them.
That's him. That is him.
That's what
Mr.
I'm talking about. Those kind of connections, those kind of vibes, and that kind of energy is totally different than somebody that you just be hunching on and y'all have good sex.
Mm-hmm.
The sex be good, but that other person, it be like not just the sex is good, it's that deeper level than just the sex. But y'all not even like relationship, nothing. It's just a level that's deeper than regular sex.
That's
And
true.
that shit just hit different for me. I don't know about nobody else.
I'm with you when you right. It does. It
Mm.
does. Especially, and I love when you've been away from each other for a great amount of time, and it's just like when you know you're finna see that person, that anticipation, that build up,
I
that
swear.
because soon as
That
you see them panties wet, you be like,
and the thought of them coming, or like the thought of them being around you, like now your body already, your body is
yes,
like,
yes,
it
yes,
feel like them that motherfucker, what the TV statics all the way up through your body because you feeling
yes,
everything, emotions, all of that. And that's the part that I like, because if it's gonna be somebody I'm hunching on and we ain't got to see each other all the time, but when that connection hit and we around each other, we can be around each other, we can spend time, we can have a good time, and then we can go on about our business. But we know what it is when we get with each other.
you know, it's going down,
That part.
down, down.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Oh.
We know it's
So
going down. So it
it
ain't nothing.
is.
There's
It
no
is. And that's a,
strangeness. It ain't no awkwardness. No nothing. Cause soon as he step in the room, what it say? Step in the room.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying
Hey!
too. There's a different level of comfort, but I think that comes from the connection, the
Yeah,
conversations, the build up,
yeah,
the like
yeah.
the work that was put in the beginning for y'all to even have that connection and be able to get to that point. Because again, some people don't want to be emotionally open and aware and expressive in that way. And so sometimes, oh, excuse me, sometimes it just ends up being just good sex because y'all both putting in the work to make it good.
Right, right.
But on the other side, it's more of a, on the other side, when you do take that time and you are a little bit emotionally open, may not be full on emotional like vulnerability, but you may be slightly open. That makes a difference too.
Right.
And I think, I don't know, but being sexually expressive does not automatically mean somebody feels emotionally safe enough to be deeply known. I think so many people avoid the part about being deeply known because they think, one, the person is going to judge them, two, the person is going to run away from them, or three, the person is going to decide that this ain't some shit that they want to do.
True.
Like,
True.
because now you know so much about me. Now you have an understanding of me in a different way. Now I don't know if I could be as sexually open because now I'm more emotionally open.
Mm.
And I want both.
Yeah.
I want both. I want you to be sexually open and expressive, and I want you to be emotionally open and expressive. That one-sided shit is for the birds. We is grown. Communicate. Like let's stop doing all of the childish shit and playing the games, because at the end of the day, do we really want well, I guess so. I was about to say, do we really want that? But some people do. I can't say that works for me. Even if it's a fling for an extent, for a period of time, having that fling still can have that emotional openness, that sexual openness, and all of that kind of stuff. But it just comes with a time limit.
Which is true. It does. It does.
Um, yeah, and so that's something totally different. So I don't know. But let's talk about why emotional vulnerability feels more threatening than physical intimacy. We've already kind of started talking about that. But for many people, emotional exposure feels riskier than physical exposure, like we said. And then the
Mm-hmm.
physical intimacy may involve attraction, pleasure, validation, and temporary closeness. But emotional vulnerability requires uncertainty, honesty, emotional risk, possible rejection, accountability, and sustained connection. So, like we said, somebody might be cool with being butt ass naked, butt naked with a cheesecake. They may be comfortable with trying all the things, doing all of the stuff, bringing all of the toys. But when it
Yeah.
come down to their emotions, they just like,
I'm
uh,
cool.
uh, uh,
Yeah.
I don't know how to, like, people be scared to say, I don't know how to trust people. They be scared to say, I want closeness. People are afraid to say, I want closeness, but I fear dependency. Like, because being close doesn't always mean that you have to be dependent, but some people think that's what it means.
Mm.
And, um, hey, the one, and sometimes it does get to the point where uh that dependency based, depending on how you show up or how how you are, that can be the difference. Is that when you get close to somebody, then you start attaching, and then you become dependent on how they show up for you in that space and in that connection, so they avoid that so that they don't become that, because 9 times out of 10 somebody made them feel a way because that was something that they experienced with somebody else. So
Yeah. That's true. That's true. That's true.
a lot of that a lot of
Everyone.
that keeps people emotionally frozen, and they just be like, no, I'm cool on that. I don't want none of that. I just went through with somebody that turned me every which way but loose emotionally. I just want to screw. I just want to hunch, and that's that. That's all I want. I just want to hunch. And I be like, dang, some people, be like that. But I get it. I fully understand it. But doing that and hunching and all of that kind of stuff does come with some consequences. Because if you're not open and communicating properly, and y'all haven't had the fullest open, most open conversation, then some might end up happening that you didn't necessarily agree to or want to happen.
True. That's true. That is very true.
That's
That's
why
true.
we
Because,
said, sometimes, you know, that's how you end up with stalkers being crazy. It, that's how you end up with that. That's how you end up with a couple stalkers and motherfuckers being crazy. It's simply because y'all didn't put your thing down, flipped it and reversed it, and now y'all out here. Now y'all out here like, damn, I want some more. How can I get more of that? And that becomes the whole thing. So yeah, it's different. It's real different.
yeah.
So some people like the reality of it is that some people would rather share like their bodies and all of that before they share their fears, their emotions, stuff that make them scared, because that means that this person now has something to possibly use against you.
Which is true. But, it seemed like it would be reversed, but it's the way society is today. You hit it right on the nail. It's very much so because for many people, physical intimacy is like a script. It has scripts. And emotional intimacy, can't get it out. Intimacy does not. It's like, what do I do? Do I want this? Do I not want this? How do I navigate through this? And I don't know. We talk about it all the time. I think it just comes down to you must communicate with the person you're dealing with, and maybe you don't have to have a conversation with yourself. What do you want? Do you want to just be out here just, I don't want nothing emotional. I just want this physical intimacy and just keep
Mm-hmm.
it, or do I really want a connection? And people shouldn't be scared, but I get it. Because sometimes when you give a little bit of yourself, you have people who will try to use that against you.
Yeah.
So I can understand people being, I don't want none of that emotional stuff,
Right.
because I don't know if this person's gonna do me like my last girlfriend, who I
Mm-hmm.
told everything and I got emotionally involved and she tried to tear my life apart. So it's like people got to learn to also not carry that baggage from previous relationships into the new relationships or situationships, because you don't know, what I'm saying? You don't even know how this person's going to be. But if you go into this little contract that you
Mm-hmm.
have, like thinking, well, she gonna do or he gonna do me the same way my last person did, you just spoken into existence. So
Mm-hmm.
of course that's something that could possibly happen. But it is, I think it's something that a lot of Black families don't talk about, don't deal with, don't. I think a lot of families are so scared to even have these open conversations with their children. And I think these conversations need to be had. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want your children out here just willy nilly, just thinking anything, because a lot of parents don't even talk to their kids about the birds and the bees anymore.
Listen, and then get mad when they out here hunching and come home with babies, but you ain't had no conversation about them about what sex is and what it's not, and the consequences of it. I remember there was an incident, and this young girl, and um, her mama was so pissed Cause she like, we just talked about this. And we just talked about what it looked like when you have sex and where babies come from. And she was like, and you still gonna try it? It wasn't funny, but it was funny that because the girl was only 14.
Mm.
I'm like, and you still gonna try it anyway? Like, we just had this conversation. Ain't no more Roe versus Wade. Ain't no more of that. You can't
Mm.
get out here and just go get an abortion just because. And she was telling her, and I was like, well, damn, it ain't like you wasn't having the conversation with your child. You was talking to her. You was, trying to educate her, but kids gonna be kids and they gonna want to try it and they gonna want to figure out what's good because you didn't talk to them about it. Sometimes that's the thing. Sometimes we
Right.
didn't have the conversation with their asses and now they like, let's see.
They become curious.
Yeah.
And be like, you're gonna become curious until you pregnant or you done got somebody pregnant. What you gonna do?
You gonna be out here trying to you out here now trying to see what it's about because we had this conversation. But oh nah, baby, that conversation scared me. I was like, oh no, I'm not hunching until I'm grown.
Right.
And I was 2 weeks before my 18th birthday. 2 weeks. And I could have went longer. But I had a boyfriend at the time. So there's that. These damn boys.
You had that opportunity. Mine was taken away from me. So I didn't have a choice to do what I needed to do. So that's another thing. A lot of females and males are not given that choice to wait. It's taken from them by people they know, by family members, people, and that's sad. That's real sad.
And then that plays out too in those parts of how people show up intimately too. So that's a big deal. And I think if more people had those conversations, even about that, even about now, I'm not saying you just tell that to anybody or somebody that you just randomly screwing. I would never recommend that. No. But I would recommend you having the conversation about your traumas when it comes to like being with somebody so they fully understand it and they fully have a idea of how to handle you when it comes to certain things.
Right.
Because some of those things, it does take a toll on you as far as, how someone is able to handle you or process things makes a difference. Because if there's something that may trigger you and they don't know your triggers or they don't know about your past or what happened in your life, it can absolutely make a big difference in a situation that was meant to be pleasurable ending up going left.
True.
Yeah. So I think those conversations are important. And we just need to know who we tying ourselves to. Yes. Which is why I think the older I get, the more I'm like, yeah, I want a couple of boyfriends, but
oh, wait a minute.
They gotta be somebody like that I trust, or that I'm able to actively get into a full relationship with, but also they gotta be willing to know about the other one. Because it's gonna be two of y'all.
And then they got to be willing to accept it and understand.
Yeah.
She got another mate. But then, there's another side that comes with that. Because you're always going to have one that's going to say, well, if you get to do it, I want to do it too.
I want to do it too. You ain't the big boss. No, I'm just playing. You ain't the boss.
But I'd rather them tell me straight up, okay, if we're going to do it like this, then I'll be like, well, then hell, that's just like we finna be in a polygamy, and you have yours, I have mine, and everybody do what they do, and everybody make sure everybody's safe and go with it.
And that's the other part. Like, people get out here and just do stuff and don't even consider the safety or none of that. Like, you out here just hunching buck wild, ain't it?
Until you go to the doctor and can't figure out why you sick and you keep getting sick, and then be like, well, you got
You wonder
something.
why you waking up and your thing on the other side of the bed. That's a whole that's a whole different conversation. You know?
Oh
Like,
Lord.
why I keep waking up in my thing in the other bed?
Yeah, because your thing decided, baby, you ain't making correct life
You doing too
decisions.
much.
Go ahead and detach and going over here. You figure it out.
You doing too much. You got too much dip on your chip. And I got to go ahead and let it be.
Oh, no kind of protection, no salsa, no nothing. You just straight dipping. No.
Listen.
No.
You ain't even put a napkin.
Baby, you
ain't even tucked a napkin in your chest. You know, nothing.
Yep.
So yeah, I think we really do have to be mindful of those things. And then one of the other things that we don't kind of talk about overall is how people disassociate. Like, people are able to compartmentalize.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I'm a compartmentalizing kind of person. I don't think that's me. But some people are able to disassociate during sex to the point where that's all that they can do. Like, all that they want, or the only thing that they're able to do is fully focus on the physical, and their emotional never enters the room. And I'm like, damn, you know, like, their body is present, but the rest of them is not. And I don't know. And I'm sitting up here thinking now, like, have I ever been that person where physically I was there and all of that, and I was enjoying it, but the rest of me wasn't? And the only time that I can think that I was that way was when I was grieving.
Mm.
When I was grieving and I was intentionally not bringing any type of emotions or feelings into it because I didn't want to. I was trying to disassociate from the pain that I was feeling emotionally already, which is why my emotions didn't show up. I was already emotionally overwhelmed and all of that. So I didn't want none of the emotional stuff. Just give me the physical. And right, we'll come back to the rest of that shit later. So yeah, that made a big difference when I was grieving and stuff, is that I didn't want the emotional part. And then back then I didn't care nothing about you or none of that. Pull up, do what we do, and you going on about your business. Pull up and gone. Get in, get out, get on. That was what it was. Right. Get in, get out, get on. And that was it. So and I think that looks different on men and women.
It does.
Because a woman zoning out, I think you can tell when a woman is completely zoned out or mentally, like, not in it. Like, if she's not mentally in it, I think you can tell more than you can with a man.
Yeah, because I think with a man will continue the act, but with a female, at least from my standpoint,
mm-hmm,
when I'm not emotionally in it, it's like she's dead. She just, well, honey,
not dead.
She drives dead. It's like, it's nothing you can do. No matter what you do, you want to, well, let me give you a little head. You can give me head all you want. And I'm laying up there at the top like, and it just makes, like, You don't want the other person to feel bad, especially if you're in love with that person. So you try to fake the funk, but they be like, baby, you're all right. Because it just don't feel the same. Of course, it's not the same because I'm not really emotionally tapped into this right now. I
Yeah.
really don't want to be
But I'm
bothered.
even trying to think of like what that would sound like. Cause if you having sex and all of that kind of stuff, what does being emotionally detached even sound like in that moment? Is it dry? Is it just like, do you make
Probably
any
sound
sounds
like
when you're
sandpaper.
completely emotionally detached?
Probably sound like sandpaper.
Cause
Be
I'm
like,
like, what do that even sound like? Y'all just in there quiet?
it's you know what? You probably be quiet, and the man probably be still doing what he doing, still talking. Because I've had a situation where I was just like I tapped out. I was there, but I wasn't there. But it was like he was so busy trying to get what he wanted to get his.
Didn't really care.
He didn't, he was just like, babe, every now and then, baby, you sure you okay? I'm fine. Mm-hmm. Look young and dumb. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. And I'm just like, I want this man to hurry up and get off of me so I
Oh
can
no.
get on
Now
top. So
I have been there. I ain't gonna hold
but
you. I
then
have been
you
there
do a
where it's
little,
like, oh my God, hurry up.
you try to do a little move to try to like act like move your hips a little bit, but it's half. Everything you do is half. If they say flip, get on your knees, you be like, "Why I gotta get on my knees? I don't feel
I'ma
like getting
just
on my
turn.
knees.
Can you do it this
Yeah,
way?
just hold my leg. Just hold my leg up while I
That's
turn sideways."
crazy.
Yes, you be like, you're so lazy, and you just don't. And you would think, well, baby, if I'm doing all this, making you put in all the work, you should tell I don't really want to be bothered. You should just go on ahead and
That's kind of
withdraw.
like that here down. Here down.
Yeah, just take it,
Yeah.
goddamn. It's gone. Just hurry up and do what you
Yeah,
gotta
like
do.
that here down. That's it. Now get up. Get off of me.
Yeah, I'll be like, God
Ooh.
dang, damn, you can't tell I don't feel like being bothered today. Come on now, son.
And that's the other part. Like, I don't know. I know, like, I've had sex or whatever, and I was just like, bro, let's just come on. Like, I was in the mood, but then you pissed me off, and then now, like, now we doing it, and I'm still lightweight pissed off, so I'm halfway enjoying this. So hurry up.
Yeah.
Let's just hurry up, cause I'm irritated now. Because it don't even feel the same. It don't feel the same.
No.
Nothing.
Nope. And then
Yeah.
when you're done, you just want to roll over. Don't touch me.
You just want to roll over and go to sleep. And I think that's the other thing too. Like, you can really get into the groove of things, and it feels amazing when you know that this person is intimately there with you, and
Mm-hmm.
emotionally, and like, their desire is to be intimate with you fully. It's something totally different than somebody who is just physically there.
Right.
Because I'm a woman. I love to kiss. I love to do, all of those things. And I just can't get down with not kissing. And I've tried. I really have tried. And I'm just like, nah, fuck out my face with that. And so that's a requirement that I have to ask
Do
up
you?
off top. You like
And
kissing?
you have a lot of people who don't. You have a lot of people who do not, but they love to kiss everywhere else, but your lips on your face.
And that's the other part. They say that's more intimate than giving head.
Yeah, and you would think
Like,
it'd be the
what?
opposite way. You would think it would be the opposite way, but I get it. At first, I didn't understand it, but I get it because when you kiss, it's like it pulls all of your. It's like all your neurotransmitters are being fired at once.
Uh-huh. It's
And
a
it,
whole thing.
if they know how to kiss,
It's so
baby,
much better.
it's
Like,
something.
I'm to the point where, like, Hey, let's do like we used to do and just kiss. And that's it. Especially if they know how to kiss and they good at kissing. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
baby, we finna kiss. We finna just
Mm.
be in here kissing.
I,
We ain't
I,
even got the hunch. We could just
I
be in
like
here kissing and touching.
that old fashioned. Bring me that old fashioned shit.
Yes. Cause
Come here,
what we doing? Why everything got to be hunching?
because that's what society tells people. Everybody gets so wrapped up into the sexual part, they forget our
Man,
bodies have so many different sexual transmitters, thousands on top of thousands, that you can
man.
have sexual pleasure without being penetrated. But some people don't want to experience that. They're scared. Well, if what if I just sit here and we just kiss, or if I just rub on her, will she get sexual gratification from? I would. I would.
Hell yeah.
Okay, this is the thing. You have to do it right. You can't come touch it on me with nobody's rough man, callous hands. That is not. That is just like.
First of
But
all,
no, go put
back
some
up.
lotion on. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. Look, I can get it if you're a workman. I get it. That's different. But if you got some men out here, it ain't no excuse for your hands to be that rough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're a workman, that's different. I get that, because you can go and put some lotion on, you can put some shea butter, it softens your hands up. But you have some men out here that don't take the necessary body care regimen
Mm-hmm.
to do what they need to do. So let me
Uh-huh,
bag it
to
up.
deal with all of that and
All of that.
that's why I don't understand the whole, and it's just a little sidebar. That's why I don't understand that people be talking about it's homosexual or it's gay for a man to get a manicure and all of that other kind of stuff. Like, no, it's not.
It's
Especially a
body.
man who has a woman in his life. Now, I don't mind a man doing it outside of a woman being in his life, but I feel like if a man does a lot with his hands and he works really hard, and men do get calluses, very hard ones at that. Like, women get them, but they're not as hard and as bulky as men's, especially
Right.
the ones that's right here.
Yep, across here.
The ones that end up across here, they're hard, like really hard. And it takes nothing but for a man to go get a manicure. And a lot of times when you get a manicure, your fingers are soaking, your hands are soaking. So they are able to tend to that. That was why when my ex, he worked at the steel mill regularly. All right, come on in here, sit down. We gonna put these feet in this water, and I'm gonna make sure them hands taken care of, one, so you can keep going to work. Okay, so
That is.
so you can keep going to work, and so I can continue being a preschool teacher because I loved it, but also being in school. So I'm gonna make sure I'll take care of you, so you could continue to take care of me. And
Yep.
so out regularly, I did them pedicures on a regular basis. We gotta make sure them toenails is cut, all of that.
Baby.
But also the hands, I took care of his hands. I did his shaves and all of that. Like, cause I was in barber school, so it was practice. But so I could shave that bald head, and I would do the manicure and the pedicure and all of that because it was necessary. Because I'm like, you're not about to get in this bed and be tearing my sheets up and tearing my calves and feet up with them toenails. No, sir. And I would go get mine done regularly too, because that's part of what he was used to.
Right, right.
I was putting up, go get my nails and toes done every couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That was part of my life. So I was like, shit, I'm gonna go get mine done, then I'm gonna come home and do yours. Or I'm gonna do yours and then go get mine done. Either way, they was gonna get done. But the disassociation thing that we were talking about can happen because vulnerability feels overwhelming Two, the nervous system is protecting itself, and emotional intimacy just feels unsafe all the way around for some people. Like some people are really just like, no, this ain't it. This does not always mean that they've experienced trauma. It just means that sometimes the emotional disconnection is not from the person but from themselves. So that they are most emotionally disconnected from themselves, not nobody else, not nothing else, simply themselves. And I was like, oh, okay. Because if you think about it, sometimes people that are disconnected from themselves aren't able to show up emotionally. They aren't able to be present in any shape, form, or fashion for other people and all of that kind of stuff. And so it makes it easier to give up their body than they can of their mind, their spirit, all of that kind of stuff. So
Which is true.
it's something to think about.
It's true.
And the biggest thing is that just because I'm participating don't mean I'm present.
Baby, I'm here, but I ain't all the way here.
I'm here, but I ain't here. And that's wild, okay?
It is. It is.
So we're gonna talk about them attachment styles since we talking about it. So we
Okay.
talking about how we showing up and how we are emotionally aware and whatnot. So I don't know if y'all know the attachment styles. So there are three. One, two, three. Yes, there are three attachment styles. So the first one is the avoidant attachment. And before I get into that, attachment patterns strongly affect the intimacy. They strongly affect how this person may or may not end up showing up. So the avoidant attachment style is a person that prefers physical intimacy over emotional closeness. They don't want to be emotionally close. They try to avoid that at all costs. I told somebody once before that they were an avoidant and they literally went off on me because I told them. And I'm like, this is just a conversation. And I was like, no, you are an avoidant because of the conversations that I've tried to have with you. You choose not to engage, when it comes to that emotional awareness and emotional vulnerability, you refuse. Right. So I'm like, you're avoidant. You are an avoidant. They pull away after vulnerability. Like if they are vulnerable, you might as well get ready to not ever see that motherfucker again. Some of them motherfuckers gonna be like, all right, well, there's enough of that. Let's go and pack this shit up and I'm out.
Yes.
Absolutely. But they also fear emotional dependency. So we know what that means. Depending on somebody else to regulate their nervous system or their emotions all the time. Some people do fear that. And that's an understandable fear. Like you don't want to have to depend on somebody for your emotional regulation. And I get that. The anxious attachment. They use sex to feel validated or secure. They confuse attention with connection. And they fear emotional abandonment. Sheesh. And then the disorganized attachment style, they crave intimacy intensely. They fear intimacy simultaneously. So they want it real bad, but they fear it at the same time. Just say you crazy.
It's yin and yang. Baby, let's make it make.
And then they cycle between closeness and shutting down. So this is somebody who kind of they literally waiting to jump in the rope, like playing double dutch. They trying to jump in the rope. They want to jump in so bad, but no, I ain't jumping in. I'm cool.
It's like they kind of schizophrenic. They don't know what they want to do, and I mean, I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's crazy. So those three attachment styles, and then there's the organized, which is four attachment styles, but these are the main three that they usually cause a little bit of the chaos when it comes to attaching during intimacy and stuff. So this helps explain why sexuality and emotional connection do not always move together. So you can have a person again that want to be all up in you, on you, all of that, but then at the same time they really don't want to have nothing to do with you at all. So you can have two sides of the same coin, and it's confusing as fuck sometimes because you're expecting, oh, okay, they've done all of this emotional stuff, but then you still getting the cold shoulder, and it's like, how
True.
I'm getting hot and I'm getting extremely hot and extremely cold. Help me to understand. So, um, a lot of people perform the connection instead of actually feeling it. So, the performance of connection for some people looks like they know what to say, how to flirt, how to touch, and how to create chemistry, but they're not genuine in it. They know how to do all the things in order to perform it and make it look like what it should look like, but the emotional intimacy is not there, and what it requires is totally different. It requires emotional honesty, presence, nervous system regulation, consistency, and vulnerability. And so a lot of people were never taught those skills in order for them to be able to show up in that way. So instead of actually learning the skills in order to do it, they just perform it. I just had a thought. Sorry.
They're active.
I was
They're
over here like,
active.
wait, have I experienced that was the thought, which had me blank
Had you?
out right there. Cause I'm like, have I ever experienced performative connection? That's wild. That's even wild to think about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's wild to even think about. That somebody was performing the connection instead of actually being or allowing the connection to happen where, damn, I'm really in my thoughts now. Like, have I ever really experienced somebody performing? I'm gonna have to go write down some stuff later because this got me thinking. It
You
got
think?
me thinking. Like, damn. Because I didn't know it was a thing. Now I do know that people are do pretend a lot when it comes to relationships and all of that kind of stuff. I just didn't understand or know that there was a such thing as performative connections.
I didn't either. You learn something new every day,
But
and
I
it.
guess that's what we would call fake people being fake.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The
I
ones
think
that
just
are,
the verbiage makes it sound a lot more damaging than not.
but it is. It's very damaging because here you are putting on this act,
Yeah.
and it's like, hold up,
What for is the
yeah.
question. Why?
Why would you?
Yeah.
Why would you play with me? You know, it
Yeah.
makes
Yes. Why
sense.
would you
Why would
do
you
that
play
to
with
me?
me? Of all people, I'm being genuine with you, and so you want to put on a facade with me, Gina Marie? Come on now, you can be open with me. I ain't gonna go tell your business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that
That's crazy.
is crazy. I I'm here with you because it got me in a chokehold because I'm sitting up here thinking, and that's my ex husband all the way. It was a whole
Mm.
just performative Marriage.
Mm.
5 years. A whole performative. And it's sad. That's real sad. Because now when you think about it, when you put a face and a name to it, it just gives you like that aha
Yes,
moment.
yes. And so you could see the moments or the times where they were being performative, where they were actively performing the connection and not actually being in it. But I'm also thinking, like, not just myself, not have I just experienced, but have I ever performed a connection? Have I ever been performative in that way to gain something?
Hmm.
Lots of thoughts. Lots of
Baby,
thoughts.
you gonna make me go on and grab my little journal and have me journaling and be like, Lord, have I? If I was, did I ever
Because
become?
it makes you think. It makes you really think about, have I ever performed or have I ever been the person that was being performed for when it came down to a connection? And now I'm sitting up here like, I think I have. And I know with exactly who.
Mm,
And you can see, you can even pinpoint sometimes, like if you're thinking about what it said. So it said performing connection, um they know how to perform intimacy, what to say, how to flirt, how to touch, how to create the chemistry. So they literally over here like Houdini in your ass, and doing those kind of things so that it looks like they're doing what you actually desire, but they're not doing it with genuine intentions.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Mm. So we got
Okay.
some research and statistics for you guys and dolls. So attachment theory and intimacy. Research consistently shows that attachment styles influence the emotional regulation, relationship satisfaction, sexual behavior, and the intimacy patterns. So individuals with insecure attachment patterns often report difficulty maintaining emotional closeness. That's why.
Mm,
Emotional avoidance and relationship studies suggest emotional avoidance is linked to lower relationship satisfaction, reduced emotional intimacy, and increased relational instability. So even when physical intimacy remains active. So that means that they really just not have had a satisfactory relationship overall. So a lot of people will still be physically or sexually active just because they like the performance of sex more than they actually like the connection because of the lack of satisfaction from relationships.
mm,
And then the reduced emotional intimacy and increased relational instability. So they really haven't had real close relationships. And that's crazy. But it makes sense why someone is able to fully be present sexually and not emotionally. So um and then disassociation during sex is more common than people think it is.
mm,
Duh. We know this. We know that disassociation is more prone to happen. So the research has shown that many individuals report experiences of emotional detachment, mental checkout, and numbness during intimacy, especially under stress, anxiety, or unresolved emotional conflict. So that's one of the biggest things I will definitely say is that when you and your person is into it and y'all don't resolve that conflict, y'all kind of just sweep it under the rug and then keep it moving, and then you go back to day to day, and then um you end up, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh shit, I lost my notes. Hold on. Oh, there we go. So you end up emotionally checking out, and so you don't resolve the conflict with your person. Y'all continue to live the day to day. Y'all kind of get back to a good space, and then y'all go right back to the conflict. So then y'all start a cycle, and then the cycle keeps going. So you end up being the unresolved conflict then shows up sexually. It shows up in the bedroom. It shows up in the fact that somebody not gonna be fully in that sex. Y'all just gonna be having sex for the sake of having sex, but y'all not gonna be fully in it at all. Um, and then I got a few more points. Then we gonna be out of here early, y'all. We gonna be out of here early.
Cause we be in the streets tomorrow.
We gonna be in the streets. We need to go get some rest. We need to get some rest so we can be outside tomorrow. And we're gonna be outside Sunday. So
if it don't rain.
Yeah. Hopefully it don't rain. It's supposed to rain a little bit, but hopefully it don't rain all damn day. Because I don't think it did it rain all day today? I don't know.
It
I didn't
started
go outside until late.
It started late.
Okay.
And then raining.
Okay. And then number 4, emotional safety increases sexual satisfaction. We just talked about that last week. Yeah, we just talked about that last week, how being emotionally safe is a big factor in all of that. So, studies show emotional trust and communication strongly correlate with higher sexual satisfaction, deeper intimacy, and greater relational stability. So overall, the safer you feel, the easier it is for the sex to be good, the communication to be good, the emotional vulnerability and all of that to be present, as long as you all are prepared and you all are making it a safe space for both of y'all. Okay? So, if y'all want to be more emotionally available when you out here hunching, you got to learn the difference between attention and connection. Attention feels exciting. Connection feels safe. Many people chase validation, attraction, and chemistry without emotional intimacy. So ask yourself, do I want to be desired or genuinely known? That'll tell you the difference, and that'll tell you how you gonna show up in that space. Number 2 is start naming emotions instead of performing through them. Many emotionally frozen people intellectualize feelings instead of experiencing them. We talked about that on Tuesday. We talked about intellectualizing emotions and all of that kind of stuff instead of actually feeling them or experiencing your feelings. So, practice identifying what fear feels like: sadness, shame, loneliness, insecurity, because your emotional awareness creates emotional availabilities. Okay? So all of those things are going to make a big difference in how you show up in that space, in that relationship, in that connection, because you are able to fully gain an understanding of not just that person, but yourself. Hold on. Let's see what else I got. But the aunties are going to be outside. If you see us outside, stop by, say hi, say something to us, and all of that good stuff. And we hope to see y'all. But number 3, slow down during intimacy. People often use humor, seduction, performance, and distraction to avoid emotional presence. Slow down. And slowing down helps reveal anxiety, discomfort, vulnerability, and emotional needs, and that matters. So you gotta know when to slow down, pick up the speed, and all of that good stuff. And then if you really want to be emotionally vulnerable, you practice it in small doses. That's how you can really do it and really be, that person. So emotional openness is built gradually. Start with honest conversations. Asking for reassurance, expressing fears calmly, and then admitting emotional admitting emotional needs, because a lot of us will not say what we need emotionally.
True.
We
That's true.
will avoid our needs. We will avoid all of that in order to look like we're not needy or clingy or any of that. When you are denying yourself your basic needs, and that's one of your basic needs. If you need to be emotionally um reassured or need to feel safe or all of those kind of things, it's okay to say that shit. Y'all gotta stop acting like saying that is a crime, because it's not. And
No.
then pay attention to your nervous system. So notice when you emotionally shut down, when closeness feels overwhelming, when you want to run after intimacy. Those reactions are information. So use that information and then take it in order to be better about how you show up. And then lastly, stop treating emotional needs like a weakness. A lot of emotionally unavailable behavior is rooted in shame and needing people. But emotional connections requires interdependence, not dependence, but interdependence. So being emotionally open does not make you needy. It makes you human, okay? Remember that.
Remember.
Remember that it makes you human in order to need people, to want to be desired. All of those things and feelings and all of that is part of the human experience. It does not make you weak. It does not
Mm.
make you needy or clingy or any of that. It honestly just makes you a human who looks to connect. And ain't shit wrong with that. And don't make nobody shame you for wanting that neither. Because there's a lot of people who would rather shame you than to actually look at themselves knowing that they desire the same thing too.
Right, right.
So
That's true.
tap in, y'all. Tap, tap, tap in. It's okay to want those things, to desire more for yourself and more from your connections. If you don't want all of that, cool. If you want all of that, cool. Either way, it is up to you to actively say what you want and then go for it and not settle for anything other than what you desire. Don't let nobody tell you that you're asking for too much, doing too much, wanting too much. If it's something that you want that is going to help you to actively move forward in this life, how you plan to move, don't let nobody tell you otherwise. You ain't got to screw them.
You know,
So I know y'all shocked that we out of here so early. But like we said, we wanted to still give y'all a show tonight because the aunties is gonna be outside tomorrow. We finna go get prepared, lay y'all clothes out like it's first day of school.
baby.
Because the aunties ain't hung out together in a while. So we finna get outside, have a good time. You may see us tomorrow at Melanin in May if you are out and about and you see us there. Stop by, talk to us. We'll be walking around, probably doing some interviews. So stop by, talk to us, chit chat, all of that good stuff. And then also Sunday, I can't remember the name of the fest, but we will be at Cosmos. So check us out. Um, but that's all we got for you tonight, y'all. We hope y'all have an amazing Friday, that you had an amazing day today. I think it's called the Shut Up Fest or something.
It's called. I want to go pull it. It's
You
yep.
were scrolling. Okay.
The Shut Up Jam Fest Part 2.
Okay, that's what I thought. And that's where we'll be Sunday. But if you're out and about, come catch us, come chit chat with us, come talk with us, buy the aunties a drink. It's 4 of us, just so you will know. But yeah, tap in with us over the weekend and then go check out our new show, PGC Plugged In, that premiered today. It premiered earlier today, so go check out that episode. It was with myself and our special guest, Brianna Warner. So go check that out. Check out the new Lyrical Lessons with Leo that premiered on Wednesday. And then check out the new episode of the Fat Girl Chronicles Tuesday. It came out on Tuesday. It's been some great shit in PGC land. popping off, so go check it out. It'll be YouTube, Facebook. That's where you can find it. Other than that, y'all, we hope y'all have an amazing evening. And whatever you do, keep that shit sexy, grown, and classy. I thought I was gonna say do it with your whole ass, but do that too. Do it with your whole ass, not your half ass. But also keep it sexy, keep it classy. And we love y'all and appreciate y'all for tapping in with us tonight. And next week we'll be doing the libido blueprint. Okay, because some of us need to know how to get that libido going and keep it moving. I know mine needs to slow down, but not slow down. But we up out of this thing, y'all. We love y'all. We love y'all. We love y'all. Have a great weekend and enjoy your extended weekend if you got Monday off too. We out, y'all.
Peace.
Trust. Dependency. Love. Respect. Passion. Pain. Intimacy. Pleasure.
I sit here stuck inside my head, remembering you and I analyze all those things you said.